All right. Hello, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I want to make this YouTube video just to give everyone a bit more context about my story, where I come from, how I did what I've done, and what my plans for the future are, and just give you a bit more clarity. And I think I want to make this video also feel less scripted, feel more authentic, just being real about the journey, just being honest about everything. So I want to start off, if you don't know me, my name's Joe. I am 20 years old now, about to turn 21. I currently work in remote sales, and I also run a company where I teach people how to get into high-ticket sales with a step-by-step process. Now, I'm not just some guru online that sells a program. At the end of the day, I built a company around a skill that I'd personally learned and I'd seen results around first. And doing so, I've been able to help students like Owen be able to hit 7K in a single month working remotely, traveling the world. People like Luca, who are earning consistent four-figure months now with the right mindset. He was able to quit his job. So, I'm not just another course setter. I'm someone that really gives a shit about their students and actually takes a lot of pride in what I do. So you may be asking, Joe, what did you do? How did you get into this space? Like, what's the honest truth about everything? So I started in the world of high ticket sales about 3 years ago now, while I was traveling Thailand with my girlfriend. I was at a point where I had a little bit of debt, even though I was quite young. I was borrowing money actually off my girlfriend to be able to travel and to be out there in Thailand with her. And I got offered a sales position for a B2B company, business to business, where I'd essentially close deals and get 10% of the deal if I managed to close a sale. Fast forward a year after that, I'd been on that team for a long time, and I started making really consistent money, anywhere from $5,000 months, $7,000 months, $10,000 months. I even had like a peak month where I made about $12,000, which was insane for my age, right? And my honest take about it is that high ticket sales is an amazing industry to get into if you're an introvert and you want to become an extrovert, you want to become more confident. You obviously want that lifestyle that we see online so much of time, location, and monetary freedom. And overall, just be able to develop a skill that isn't in control of someone else's. You're not in control of someone else's paycheck, I guess you could say, right? Like at the end of the day, it's your own hours, your own location, wherever you want to be, you can do it. It does require obviously a very high level of seriousness, because you're not going to earn a doctor's salary at the age of 19 by not being serious about something. Like, you can't just do this and just expect to have a fucking iPhone and then start making money online. That is not how it works. Like, it is a proper career and it's a proper way of making money online, because ultimately it follows it's in a very old industry, right? Which is sales. Sales has been around for hundreds of years now, thousands, millions of years, right? Everyone's always sold, but it's just a different way of doing it now and applying it to the more online world, I guess, is what I do. Now, let me give you a rundown as to how I actually started. So I've got a few notes here on the side just so I can reference back to what I did want to speak about in this video. But the way I started was essentially I tried tons of different businesses. Starting from the ages of about 15, I was hyper obsessed about this whole making money online thing because I'd seen it so many times. And I'd been told that it was possible. In school, I wasn't very good. I didn't have the best grades in the last 2 years, so in the high school period. So I knew I sort of had to figure out a different route. You could also say that I got bad grades because I was too focused on building businesses. When I say building businesses, I tried building a vintage reselling brand. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried influencer marketing, social media marketing agency. I had a chatbot agency. I had even done like a bit of copywriting and video editing here and there, like very small stuff. And like, they did make me a bit of money. Like, I did get to the point where I was probably making like 500 euros a month, which was nothing, I know, but it was something. And it was something that told my brain like it's possible. During that whole period of time, I developed loads of new skills, including the one of becoming very confident in front of speaking to people and talking to people. So I got quite good at sales naturally. And then I had my first gap year where I essentially had to figure everything out. I had 1 year to really prove to my parents that I could do something with this online space, and that it wasn't absolutely just this crazy idea. Like, it was genuinely like a real thing that I could pursue. And I went with my girlfriend. We saved up some money. We traveled to Southeast Asia for a bit. Even she was lending money actually out there while I was traveling there because I didn't have enough from my job. And like I said before, I got offered a position from quite an old friend of mine to get into the high ticket sales space. And he said that if I closed, a deal, I'd get 10%. I was selling a package that was about $3,000 at the time. So I would get $300 off every sale. 3 days after I landed it, I closed my first deal, which was mental to me because like 300 euros was enough to travel Thailand at that time. I say it as if it was ages ago, but like it was enough, right, to stay in like cheap hotels and stuff like that and afford food and pay back my girlfriend as well. And ever since then, I'd done 3 years of it, working on a few different offers. I'd done a bit of setting, a bit of dialing, a bit of closing, but ultimately I was on one very big offer that whole time, even though I was bouncing around on different ones as well, where I made the most of my money. And in that period, I was also posting a lot of videos online, posting about my journey in entrepreneurship, what I did, how I did it, and just starting off sort of like I'm doing now, but I did it with more like I was just doing it for the fun of it, right? And then it eventually turned into a business because a few people had texted me wanting my help and actually wanted to learn from me. So I told them, look, I'd be able to do it for this price because this is what my time is worth now. And to my surprise, they said yes. And that's where the SC program was born, which is the company I currently run now, where I teach people high ticket sales and how to get into remote closing, essentially. Now, I do want to give you just a bit of value in this video. I don't want it to be like just purely me yapping about my journey. So I'll tell you the 4 simple steps that it takes to get into high ticket sales. And I'll explain each individual one in a second. The four steps that I took were learn, invest, calls, and seal the deal, basically. Now, starting with step number 1, what do I mean by learn? You need to understand the fundamentals of sales. Like, I don't care if it's car sales, door-to-door sales, online sales. Like, you just need to understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to do and how you do it, right? Ultimately, your goal is to get someone from not wanting to buy to buying an expensive product in this sense in the high-ticket sales space. The way you do that. Now, this is where the second part comes in, right? Actually finding a mentor, finding a community. You can go the free route where you can join WhatsApp communities. You can buy little courses, or you can get a full one-on-one mentorship like I personally offer with my program, right? I'm not saying you need to join it. It's just good for you to be aware of it. And once you start learning that skill with a mentor and you start understanding how to properly sell online high-ticket deals and you have a job board, that's when you need to hop on to step 3, which is essentially hop on an offer. Start working for someone to get real reps, because there's like this quote, right? You don't learn how to ride a bike by reading a book. You learn how to ride a bike by actually getting on the bike and just practicing. You need to fall over, you need to hurt yourself, and then you need to get back at it, right? The same with sales calls. You need to be on a real offer to practice talking to real people. What's going to happen most likely on your first offer? You're probably going to get fired because you're shit, right? But at least you learn. You have calls now that you can look back on, see what you went right, what you went wrong. And for your future offers, you now have proof that you actually know what you're doing, essentially, okay? The final thing is actually being able to seal the deal, essentially, right? Close the deal. Is understanding like sales compounds, right? So if you know how to get deals over the line and make commission from this high ticket sales space, it is a compound effect. The more calls you take, the better you get. The better you get, the more money you make in the future, essentially, right? That's the easiest way of looking at it. Now also a massive part of my journey was being able to have a personal brand and post content. I think I now have over like 23,000 followers, something like that. And that was built over the past couple of years from inconsistently posting videos, unfortunately. But if you stick to consistently documenting your story and just being raw and authentic about what you're doing, you have this massive leverage point where it's like, think of it this way, right? You could go to a networking event, meet 20 people, yeah? And maybe one of them texts you back for an opportunity. Or you could post a video online talking about how you have a very entrepreneurial spirit and you're trying to achieve big things in your life, and you get 20,000 views. Maybe 200 of those were some founders that were, for some reason, looking for a position at a startup, and they were willing to pay you a lot of money, and they really liked your character. They would rather hire you than go away and doing a whole hiring process and talking to a bunch of people that are going to tell them about how many MBAs they have and what university they went to. Because connection is a lot more important than just statistics, right? So if someone genuinely likes you, they're willing to teach you. They're willing to take you through the trenches and teach you the skills you need to learn to gain opportunities. Now, why do you also have high leverage with personal brand with high ticket sales? Because it can get to a point where if the person that's about to hop on a call with you can get to know you and see your whole journey just from watching your videos, it is so easy to sell to them because you're a figure of authority, right? They trust you already because they've seen you. They know, it's almost like they feel like you guys are friends already just because of a few videos online. So I highly recommend you start learning the topics of storytelling, being authentic, having attention to detail when it comes to editing and visuals, and honestly just documenting. If you go at it with a purpose of eventually selling something or being able to sell more, it won't work out. But if you go at it from a perspective of like, I want to be able to open my Instagram in 20 years and show my kids my journey through these videos, your personal brand will work absolute wonders and you will be able to monetize it one day as well, which is a massive pro in my opinion. Now, I also wanted to mention in this video, it's like, I've gone from, in a position where I was quite uncertain about the future. I didn't really know what was going to happen, to a point now where I've helped, a lot of people achieve levels of success they didn't think they could achieve, which is an amazing feeling to have. And it's the reason I do all this, but also to being very confident about the future and what it is I'm actually doing, and knowing that whatever business I try, I will crush it out the park, just because I have full confidence in myself. And my mindset is that failure is impossible if I put in the work, essentially, right? And it's the mindset that sales thankfully gave me, and I'm so blessed that it did. And if there's something that you can take from this video, which, you now probably have seen me, have become a bit more vulnerable, you understand sort of where I come from, what I do and what I teach, it's like, as corny as it sounds, the mindset you need to have if you want to win is you need to become delusional about what you want to achieve, and you need to stick to that delusion until it happens. I've been so delusional my whole life. When I was 15, I had stickers in my bathroom window, like literally sticky post-it notes all around saying affirmations and things I wanted for the future. And one of them said 10K a month. And 2-3 years later, it actually ended up happening, right? So it just shows you the power of having that blind delusion and complete blind faith in yourself that you'll achieve anything you ever wanted to. And if you do want to check out what it is I actually do and how I help random people able to actually make 4 figures a month in less than 90 days with high ticket sales, in my description, I've left every single link to my free community, my low ticket community, my high ticket community. And you can book a call with my team as well if you're interested in working one-on-one with me and me actually helping you get insane results with high ticket sales, right? So I hope this video has helped for you to get to know me a little bit more. And I'm excited to hear your thoughts in the comments as well. And if you do enjoy this sort of content, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, and yeah, peace.